Yo, I'm telling you, two things about me that are nasty. One, the gaydar. Like when I met my girlfriend's moms, I was like, I think they're gay.
Well. Hi.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Hill to Die On. I'm Gregmelly.
I'm Gklobo.
And behind the camera today, we have just Bryant. Will, you want to come in and do it now? Right away.
This is such an aggressive intro. This is really
so angry already.
He almost clapped again. What was that?
Guys, shut up. It's my turn for 5 seconds. Follow me at imwillbryant, BRYANT.
Oh, he held it there. He held it there.
Thank you. Bye.
How many words is that, Will? Is it 3? 3 words. 3 words. I'm Will Bryant.
One's a contraction, so it's kind of 3.5.
All right, dude. Puts glasses on one time and is talking
I've worn
about
glasses more than one time. If you were listening, I'm wearing glasses. Greg told me I look like a substitute teacher, and he said that was porny.
Okay, yo, whoa, cut that, Jaime. And you may see I said Jaime. It's because, unfortunately, today, our wonderful Jamie is feeling under the weather. And
What'd you do to her?
She doesn't look good. We did a show last night at Staten Island that she really sucked it up for to go to, but this morning I thought she was gonna die.
How was Staten Island?
Staten Island was weird, dude. Have you ever done a reverse comedy show? Have you ever done a show where there are 2 levels? Like there's a mezzanine and also a level, but instead of the comics using the mezzanine area, all the comics are on the base level, and then all the audience members are up top.
What? Wait, that's so weird.
The weirdest thing.
What was
dude.
the venue?
Like a bar. It was just like a club bar.
A bar with a mezzanine?
I mean, like a mezzanine is like a fancy word to say an upper level.
Mezzanine is a fancy word.
You know what I mean? But
yeah.
Like it looked like I walked into my prom. It was like so prom-y. It was so weird, dude.
Wait, that's wild.
It was wild.
Staten Island does kind of give prom. I don't know what it is.
I've never been there. It was the first time. You ever take a boat to do comedy? And then
have I taken a boat to do comedy? I don't think so.
Yeah,
no.
dude. We hopped on a boat. Also, the ferry's kind of sick. I felt like, this is going to be a callback, I felt like I was in the Dark Knight. With the 2 boats. With the 2 boats. Like, yo, which boat's going to survive? Is it going to be the prisoner's boat or like the women and children boat? That's what I felt like I was on. But you know what? It was like really late at night, so I kind of felt like I was on the prisoner's boat.
Even though we recorded this episode about the Dark Knight months ago, I still have not seen it.
Yeah, because you don't care about me, dude.
I don't
you
care
don't
about
care.
You. No.
But it was awesome. The show was good.
The show was good.
It was fine. It was weird. Staten Island, like, I know when you do comedy outside of New York, you really find the difference between your comedy.
Technically New York, but yeah.
Right, but no, you just let me get there.
Yeah.
Let me get there. Let me get there. When you do comedy outside of New York, you're like, wow, these people are not as good as New York comics.
Yeah.
That even is true for Staten Island.
Okay, I hope no one was on the show that's listening.
I'm not saying, that there were bad comics, but like the level of comedy was just not.
Sure, I understand. Yeah, you were on the show, so yeah.
I
got him. Speaking of not doing comedy in New York City, you're returning from tour.
Yeah, we did a brief tour.
Yeah, Greg went on tour. You guys,
we toured.
Tell the people where you went.
I this past weekend was on the road in Bealton, Virginia.
It feels good to say I was on the road.
It felt so good.
Yeah.
So I was on the road this past weekend in Bealton, Virginia.
Not Bealton.
Bealton. Do you know Bealton?
No.
Oh yeah, no one does, dude.
How do you spell it?
Bealeton, Virginia. Closest nearby bar.
Yeah.
Ready for this?
Sure.
40 minutes in Fredericksburg.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude, it was. People should not live there. That place should not exist on the map of America.
Why did you go there?
Because it was sick, dude.
Okay.
We did it at a winery. It was dope. I did.
So you were in a winery?
Yeah, in front of 90 people.
Holy shit!
But like that 90 felt like okay. And then okay, I'm gonna
awesome.
I'll talk about that
awesome.
after.
Okay.
So I did that on Friday night. I did 17 there, and then Saturday night we did
we being you,
me,
Zach,
my roommate Zach, and
Thelonious.
Yeah. Shout out to them. They're all comics. Thelonious was the one with the hookup. So we did that Friday night. Then Saturday night we went to Lancaster County, PA.
Amish town.
Super Amishville.
Yeah.
That venue was dope. It was like a show. There were probably about 40 people there, and I did a half hour.
Holy shit.
31 minutes.
You have a half hour?
I did, and I counted, went through the tapes. We watched back 24 and a half minutes of material, and then like 6 and 7 of crowd work.
That's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
I think I could stretch that 24 out to like 27 if I slowed it down a little bit.
Okay.
But there was a moment where I was like, oh, I did a lot of my material pretty quickly.
I've had that
you
as
know?
well.
And when you're doing 30 Like you
Yeah.
really feel that. So like that's a big note I think I'm taking away. But Friday night was the craziest show I've
That's so
ever done.
sick.
Craziest show I've ever done. Like
And
these
people were just driving from like far away to come.
like nearby towns. Like there are towns like
Damn.
20, 30 minutes away that they would all come to for this. But these people
Did
like
you guys make money?
yeah, Friday night every dollar we made we just gave back to the crowd because it wasn't like that. But then
Okay.
Saturday night we made enough tips and money on that we just had the rest of the night. We bought everything with that.
Okay, yeah.
So it was cool. We just like split it like that. But like people always want to like make jokes or like want to time travel. Like time travel is not a real
What?
like there are a lot of comics who make time traveling jokes.
I feel like I haven't heard these jokes.
All right, well Pat Bircher has a genius time travel
Okay.
joke. But shout out Pat, dude.
Me learning about comedy, I don't do.
But like, you know, like people are always like, yo, if you could time travel, where would you go? What would you do? Would you kill Hitler? You know, like that
Sure.
type of
Okay.
thing.
Yes.
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
I time traveled this weekend and I went back to 1776
What are you talking about?
because this brand of people were like,
Oh yeah, Amish.
No, Friday night
Okay.
in Virginia because those dudes were, bro,
Vintage.
white people.
Wow. Oh my
Like,
god. Tell me more.
like, So 90 people there. We had an over-under of 3.5 black people. Like, how many black people do you think we're going to see in this crazy white village? I took the over. I hammered the over. Turned out to be 4 black guys. So, shots on you, Thelonious. But even these black dudes...
Why are we talking about this?
Because, bro, like, it was the whitest... Like, silly me for thinking Kamala had a chance.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
Okay, gotcha.
It was the Trumpiest place. Like, everybody had Second Amendment stickers
And
on
you
their
crushed.
car. Everybody... Like,
This is Greg's audience. He murdered with
you know
them.
what's funny is Zach
Yeah.
had like he kind of wrote a joke. Zach kind of crushed Friday night, and as
Yeah.
soon as he got off stage, I was like, "Bro, you found your audience."
Yeah, but I mean, he's from Indiana, so that actually makes kind of
Yeah, and he's like very like my nephews named are after guns, and they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I love everyone
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So listen, so I'm on my 10th or 11th minute of my set, right?
yeah,
Yo,
yeah,
I came in high energy.
yeah.
This
Well,
is
it's crazy because they're doing this at like noon, and Greg just woke up.
just woke up.
And when we were talking before, he was like, "I don't have the energy to do this."
Yeah, but this is a crazy story. So the 10th or 11th minute mark, I'm like, what do you guys do for fun? Like, what are
Yeah.
our hobbies, right? And
Sure.
they all just collectively screamed out, hunt.
Guns,
Hunt.
hunt.
Everyone hunts. Yeah. So I was like, what do you hunt? Like, right? Like, what do we hunt? One lady in the front row screams out, anything that moves, which is a crazy answer coming
That's
from an old white lady, right?
crazy. Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, all right, that's weird. Like, we made fun of that for a little bit. 5-6
Holy
minutes go
shit.
by. 5-6 minutes go by. I'm on my last bit. I'm making the joke. I haven't even reached the punchline yet, but like it's doing better than my other jokes have been. And
Yeah.
the one lady, another lady in the front row starts snorting so loudly.
Like
Like,
laughing.
yeah, like
Okay.
laughing, snorting, and everyone's hearing it. So I am like, yo, be careful. Someone here might shoot you.
Good.
They lost their shit, right?
Yeah.
She's cracking up, and then she stops. She stands up, and she gets on stage.
Holy shit.
She gets on stage, and we're like right here.
Yeah.
And she's just like, and she hugs me.
That's so weird.
She gets on stage and she hugs me. I say nothing. She sits down. The moment she sits down, I'm like, that's the closest I've ever felt to Will Smith before.
Oh my god.
And I couldn't even finish the bit. And then I just got Zach on stage.
Hell yeah.
It was the weirdest
That's so fucking weird.
group of people I've ever seen. They all got so mad at
1776.
me that I don't have a gun.
I mean,
Because they were
you
like,
should.
I had
No.
this joke about like someone's going to break into my house and like, what am I going to do?
do Shakespeare at them.
And I have a
I know this
Shakespeare
joke.
joke, right? And when I'm like, what am I supposed to do? They're like, you shoot him. You fucking shoot him. You put your gun and you fucking fire him. And I'm like, do I look like I own a gun? And
Yeah.
the twinkiest looking dude there was like, yeah. And I'm like,
No, you
oh
don't look
my
like you own a
God.
gun.
No,
Yeah.
I don't look. I'm
The
like, bro, I'm
beanie?
shooting my
There's
own
no
foot.
way.
I look like I own a skateboard maybe,
Yeah.
but not a gun.
I was on our producer Will's podcast this week,
How was that?
and I was telling him about my friend's theory, which is that all women should have guns and men shouldn't. And that would solve everything. If all women
That
just
would,
had
yeah.
a gun,
But is the fact that all women have a gun, or the fact that no men
No
have
men
a
can
gun?
have guns.
Because I think no men having a gun is just
no
what
men
solves
have
it.
guns.
We shouldn't let guys have anything.
No, but all women get a gun. All women get a gun, and it's like no guy will ever. I literally just said this on Will's
Yeah,
podcast,
but, like-
but no guy will ever fuck with you on the subway because he's like, she could kill me.
I still think guys have that like a bit like that weird primal thought of like I could get it from her.
No, get the gun.
Yeah. I think guys are like if there's like an
I think
abusive
if a guy
relationship,
knows that like every woman he approaches definitely has a gun in her purse.
you think homeless people are genuinely going
Not
through this thought
necessarily.
process?
No. But I think once you pull it out.
But
I'm not talking about homeless people. I'm talking about like random like
abductors.
men. Yeah, like who just want to.
Who's out there abducting women anymore?
You know what? That's a good.
You know, like what's the guy look like?
Probably you. No, you're not. I think he's taller.
Whoa, I was gonna say uglier, but taller is also true.
Yeah.
Because I don't have like the physical prowess to be like growing up thinking I could probably overcome somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm not getting abducted because I have started boxing.
Whoa, okay. So you're not drinking and now you're boxing?
Yeah, I'm a new woman. I'm a different person.
You should get into the UFC. Also, Joe Rogan, the UFC. Sponsored by C4 today.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That was
it's
terrible. It was a lot funnier in my head.
Honestly, okay, so this is worth noting. This is our first episode that we're recording since our podcast has been out.
Mm-hmm.
And my roommate listened to our first episode where you do the C4 sponsorship thing. And he thought we legitimately had a sponsor.
Oh, we do.
He was like, oh my God, you guys got a sponsor? That's really impressive. And I was like,
it was tough to get roommate, but we did end up.
He was like,
it.
I was like, no, that was a joke. And he was like, wow, that ad read was like really impressive. Like it was a seamless ad read. I really thought you guys had gotten a sponsor. And I was like, Greg's an actor and he's just full of shit. And I think Greg also legitimately believes that one day C4 will sponsor our podcast.
No,
and he
it's
was just
in conversation.
practicing.
We're in conversations. By the next episode,
Greg's
there will
just desperately DMing them like, hey, you got creamsicle flavored today?
Creamsicle, yeah.
I have orange flavored kombucha.
Yo, we're going to block that out.
They're not sponsoring us. Actually, I met a girl the other day who works for this brand.
Yeah?
Yeah. In my boxing class, and she's also a comedian.
Okay, weird.
I know.
Two comedians doing boxing. The world is in a weird place right now.
No, a lot of comedians. Apparently, a ton of female comedians are boxing, which I've found out since I started. Also, Caitlin Palufo, Jordan Jensen, ton of.
Caitlin is
Salma Zaki also boxes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, ton of people.
Good for them.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would fuck with any of them. Like, I think, you know what I mean? Like in a fight. I love all of them.
Yeah.
Like,
no, but I think people would more fuck with me than those people.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you
I don't want to start saying like the people we named, like who people would fuck with.
Who would be the most
fuck withable, you know? Yeah, I don't want to do that. But
yeah, but apparently lots of girl comic boxers, which I thought was cool.
That is.
I don't know what the connection is. I'm like, that's kind of random.
That is weird. Where are you taking your boxing classes?
Church Street, which Harold Rogers, who's a comic, also.
Yeah, I saw him yesterday.
He's a coach there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you know his lesbian twin sister is also a boxing coach?
Yeah, because she coaches at the gym.
It's so funny to me. Wait, I saw him yesterday, and I haven't seen him in a couple of weeks, and I was with Brennan, and we saw him, and he was like, yo, what's up, guys? And neither of us said hey because we didn't. He got like 11 shades tanner.
Oh, really?
I'm like, bro, it's January.
This is a crazy level of talking about other people we're doing now. I'm like self-conscious.
That was fun.
But yeah, now I'm going to be able to fight a bobcat even better because I can punch it, kick it, squeeze it.
I don't think you have the kicking abilities. You're not learning that.
Sometimes I do Muay Thai, so actually
we're doing a little Muay Thai?
A little bit of both, you
also
guys.
Also known in the UFC.
Yeah. I will say something notable that has been happening when I go to boxing is I'm usually the only girl there, and sometimes there's no other women in the class, so they will pair me up with, if there's a child in the class, they will pair me up with a teenage boy.
Is that because you're a woman or because they don't believe in your strength?
I think a combo of both. I think it's the classic combo of women and children. They're like, you guys are a good fit.
You guys share the raft.
Yeah.
You know, that's the type of like who's gonna win the raft.
Yeah, pretty much.
Type of thing.
I'd win the raft, king of the raft.
King of the raft. That's how long you been doing this?
Like a month.
A month?
Yeah, but I go twice a week now, so I'm like, I'm getting kind of good. I'm getting kind of good, you guys. No one fuck with me because I'll kill you.
She's done this 8 times and she's like, yeah, I'm actually nasty at
that. No, it's like a combination of like some days I'm like, wait, I'm so good. And then other days I go, I'm like, literally, what am I doing? Like,
on my podcast, she said she's top 5%.
Okay, here's what happened because I also said.
But you're not pretentious though, right? Okay, sorry.
Will told me that he was taking jujitsu, right, Will? Will was doing jujitsu.
He's a man bun. Of course he's taking jujitsu.
Yes, it's the least surprising
thing. That's what you do, bro.
If you saw Will's basement full of action figures.
The barber sends him to jujitsu class right after. This
guy does jujitsu. Will told me he quit jujitsu because he realized he was never going to be the best in the world at jujitsu. You didn't quit. You said you had a realization that you were like never going to. And I was like, well, actually, you're one of the best people of all the people in the world, you actually have trained at jiu-jitsu. So you're actually one of the best people in the world at jiu-jitsu, which is also how I've decided that after doing boxing for a month, I'm one of the best people in the world at boxing.
It's an unbelievable.
Compared to, so you have never done it.
5% of all women, whether they box.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Because
Just
we're
like
including
how
Saudi Arabia and the Middle East where
Yeah.
they're not even allowed outside.
Just like how Will is one of the best. Was one of the best fighters in the world at
but
jiu-jitsu.
you got to understand too. You got to like take into account that there's probably
You're one of the best stand-up comedians in the world.
But I'm not. But I'm not. Actually, you kind of got me back on it. In my head, I'm like
I'm one of
right.
the best people in the world at stand-up comedy, just because most people don't do it.
I see what you're saying.
Top 5% of human beings in comedy.
Yeah.
Yes,
right.
yeah,
and
yeah.
probably history because it
Yeah.
hasn't even been around that long.
Yeah.
That in the history of kind since
Yeah.
the jesters,
Yeah.
and I still don't get paid for it.
I'm one of the best people in the world at playing piano compared to.
Nah, this is where we're drawing the line. Because they've been nasty pianists since the beginning of time. But I will say though, like physically, my thing is like, there will be people that don't know how to box that would still murder you. That
Yeah,
like,
I'm not. I agree.
undeniably,
I
like
agree.
women, I'm even saying like
Yeah, I
that
completely
could just
agree.
put on a pair of gloves and just
There are
rock
some.
your shit.
I agree.
That have never picked up a boxing glove.
Agree completely.
I would say there's a massive. Is that how much time we have left, or how much time we've done? Yeah, I don't.
You're 15 minutes in.
That's what it felt
Oh.
like. You thought we.
For the I've been having a fun time. I'm sorry if
Okay.
time's been flying.
Yeah.
For the listener, Will just put up a sign that said 15 min, and I didn't know what it meant.
The fact that Greg was able to read it is good because sometimes Jaclyn puts up signs.
Yeah,
and
but
you-
she does pen. She's using a pen.
Yeah, she also sometimes does it on her phone and it's a notes
I
app.
can't see that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
How do you feel about our podcast being out?
wow. Okay, so I don't know. Have you mentioned this is the first episode?
Yeah,
You
I
have?
did briefly
Okay,
mention that. Yeah. I think it's weird, but I like it.
The fame's been really hard to deal with.
Yeah, wow.
me.
It's been exhausting.
It has been. But our relationship hasn't strained.
I've been getting, well, no, I'm kidding. I've been getting a lot of feedback from people that are like, stop wearing shorts and a t-shirt in all your episodes. It's January. How dare you? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's crazy because we did record all those episodes in like
you're
June
right.
and July.
And now we're gonna be dropping these in the summer or whatever.
I know.
Whenever. Nah,
Yeah.
it won't be that long. The turnaround will be a lot.
I've
quicker
been
now.
surprised. So many people, when I first posted it, a bunch of people were like, oh, congrats on the. I've been surprised how many people have been like, congrats on the podcast.
Yo, I said this to Grace earlier. People love her on Instagram. Like she's getting comments like,
It's
"I'm
people
so
I
proud of
know.
you." Like I roomed with your
Roommated.
brother in college. Like you keep doing your thing. Like
Oh,
they're
yeah,
trying
we
to
did
like
get
connect.
that, yeah.
They're trying to connect with you and your level of fame. Like
My
they're like,
level
yo,
of
this girl's
fame,
doing
yeah.
like a podcast. Like I know your dog's owner
Yeah.
from 2007. Meanwhile, the only comments I'm getting are like, yo, if you wear that shirt one more time,
Yeah,
gonna
Nipplegate.
burn your house
yeah.
down.
Greg wore a shirt on our second episode. If this is your first episode
and
listening.
third.
And third and fourth. No, just second
No,
and third.
second and third.
Where his nipples were just kind of out.
I don't like that word.
Then I don't like that I had to see them. I don't like seeing male
Oh, it's
nipple.
funny now you're speaking up after all the feedback in the community.
Well,
but in the moment,
I thought it at the time, and Will also thought it at the time, and he and I separately said we both didn't say anything because we thought it would be rude. But
rude.
I want to point
That's
out
crazy.
we were in your home, so
You still
you
are
had
in my home.
I know, but you could have put on any shirt that you own.
Yeah, well,
You had access to your full wardrobe.
I was making a statement, dog.
You clear. It
was
was
a choice.
Thank
yeah.
you, Will.
And that's what
It was
actors
a
do. They
choice.
make choices. Whether or not the choices are loved or hated, they make a choice.
It was hated.
Well,
Yeah.
now it's hated.
Yeah.
In hindsight,
and look at you now.
it didn't age
Fully
well.
clothed.
Yeah, twice sleeves. I'm wearing
Yeah.
2 sleeves.
Yeah, and it is January now, or February. Today's February. Okay.
Oh,
sorry.
it is February.
Not to date the episode.
Damn,
but
dude. January was so long, and I feel like tomorrow it's gonna be March. Or
I actually,
April,
I
March.
keep people keep being like January was so long, and I'm like, I actually kind of fucked with January. It was,
Yeah, it's because you weren't an alcoholic.
yeah, I
'Cause
was
you bettered
honestly.
yourself. You're
I
like,
did
I hope
better
January
myself.
never ends.
I was like, wait, I'm having the best time.
Yeah.
I like wake up every morning and write in my journal now. That's like
Wow,
been good.
dude, look at you. I'm so goddamn
Yeah.
proud of you.
And
Come
okay,
on.
remember there was
Yo,
an episode.
One time for fucking C4 is going to be representing, not camp, you got to hide the label, hide the label, hide the label. It's going to be one time for self-improvement. Cheers to everybody who,
What are
bettered
you eating? What are you
themselves
eating?
in
Greg has
January.
a protein bar here too. What are you eating?
Yo, why are we talking about off screen? That's OS for a reason,
All right,
dog.
sorry.
It's a protein bar. It's MedRx. I didn't end up having breakfast today because I have been awake for 40 minutes.
Yeah. So this is something I've noticed about now that the pod is out, because I
Yeah.
do a lot of the social media for us. And I wake up at 8 a.m. and Greg wakes up at
like
4.
Yeah, like 4. Yeah, Greg goes to sleep at 4 a.m. because
when do you finish work?
It depends.
Because it's just an interesting new thing where I'm like, wow, our schedules are so different.
Oh yeah. Lately, like January and February are the slowest months, so like we'll be done by 2:30. Like I'll be out
so
by
late,
2:30
though.
and then I'll get home at like 3:05. But and then I usually get up around I'll wake up at 11, I'll get out of bed at like 11:30.
Do you like that, or is that
it's not ideal.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't love it. I don't hate it because I am like a late night person. Like I peak energy wise at like 10.
Yeah, same. I'm a
so
night
like
person.
comedy wise, I love being out late. I don't care about that, but like I would like to be able to wake up earlier and not like, especially if I work the next day. That's when it fucks me because I'm like exhausted and I'm like, damn, I'm not gonna really wake up until I'm on my way to work, and then that part of the day is over. You know. It's really, really hard, especially if I have to, like, the next day off is my only day off, and then I want to hit a couple of mics, and it's like, it's tough.
When I lived in Dublin, I worked in a pub, and it was like, what?
Just like a little flex there.
Yeah, when I lived in Dublin.
When I was living with my roots.
Yeah. That's where I got this. No, when I was living in Dublin, I worked in a pub, and I would get to work at like 3 or 4 and go home. We'd finish our shift at like 2 a.m. And then in Ireland, the pubs, they do this thing called a lock-in, which is where they'll just like shut the pub, but like a bunch of regulars and like people from neighboring, like staff from neighboring pubs will come and just sit and drink until like 5, 6 in the morning.
That's kind of like an industry thing.
It was really fun.
Yeah, that is fun.
So we'd like sit around and drink until like 6 a.m. and then I'd go home.
How old were you?
22. And then I'd go home, I'd get McDonald's breakfast for dinner on the way home. And then I would go to bed. And then I would wake up again at like 3 p.m.
Yeah.
But it was just, it got to a point where I was like, it's so, you just never see the sun.
Yeah, that
was the part where I was just like,
that too.
I only did it for like 4 months. And then in Ireland also, because it's so far north, the sun in the winter, it's light out for like 2 hours a day less than it is here.
Oh my God.
Which in the summer is sick because it's light out for like 2 extra hours. So it's like 10 at night and it's still totally light out, which is kind of awesome. But like,
yeah,
it was just like it was getting dark at like 2 and I was waking. Oh, it sucked.
Yeah,
it was fun, but like
it's tough for the mental.
Yeah,
like,
so I'm
really,
actually
really
I'm kind of impressed at your mental fortitude that you're able to do this.
Don't get me wrong, we've gone through some serious phases of depression over the course of 2 years. Yeah, really good. But you know, it's not ideal.
Yeah,
especially like it's that part, but it's also like being a server around comics, and where I'm like, I don't want to.
Yeah,
serve,
I want to be
dude.
you. Yeah,
let me do that. You know, hey.
Yeah.
You know, but
can I get in there? Hi.
Hey.
One of these days.
This guy stole my joke. Does that make me more reputable?
Yeah.
As a comic?
Once our podcast blows up.
Yeah, for real. Well, it has blown up.
Yeah, and we get a lot of feedback now, which is fun because it's things we talked about months ago, which has been.
Yeah, and I'm like, there's nothing I can do about the shirt. You're gonna see 3 more.
Greg has gotten a lot of feedback on the shirt.
So much feedback. My sister, my manager, like friends that are like, I don't want to be your friend anymore.
Yeah.
My brother. Dude, it's been crazy. And also like, but what honestly has kept me grounded is the TikTok comments.
Okay, yeah. What's happened is that people are really fans of me on Instagram because it's a lot of people who know me personally.
And absolutely destroy Grace.
It was like
on
one of them, one TikTok, they did not like what did they say? They said, she seems like she would be a hit at parties. That was one.
Sarcastically, of course.
Yeah.
Also talking about like, yo, is she trying to like, is this supposed
to be
they
said, is
bait?
This rage bait?
Yeah.
If yes, it's working.
Yeah.
I said, that's.
Yep.
That's true.
TikTok is so funny because it's like,
you know what one they really liked on TikTok when we were talking about mayonnaise? They said this brought me joy. So.
Oh yeah. Well, that was so taken out of context because of course that clip doesn't include me saying I like mayonnaise.
No.
Right after.
No,
it's like me, like, I don't like deviled eggs are gross. Why are you talking to me? And everyone, and then
you say tuna salad's gross.
So shout out to Jamie.
Jamie's been doing a really good job on clips.
Honestly, Jamie has killed it during the clips.
Yeah.
And I watch her do it, and it's just like hypnotic, dude.
If you guys want clips of stuff, hire Jamie.
Hit up Jamie. And then of course, obviously behind the camera, if you guys ever need someone to run something else, we have Jaime over here.
You can't call him that.
I will call him Jaime. Okay. I made fun of him in an episode before holding a Modelo, and it wasn't even a Modelo.
It was a Cologne coffee.
Yeah. But I just assumed it was a Modelo.
Yeah.
It is going to be weird. This is the first time we've ever recorded without Jamie.
I know.
So, like,
I miss her.
I don't know what to apologize for.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
You know? But I think I'm kind of killing it outside of the maybe racial comment.
Yeah, that was interesting at the beginning when you kicked that off. Who has been your favorite? Have you gotten like favorite comments or like people who've listened that surprised you?
Yeah, I actually this past weekend when I was on the road.
Yeah. I'm going on the road this weekend.
Yeah,
so,
but like, it's not cool.
Yeah, it's not.
Where are you going?
Upstate.
Ithaca
and Binghamton.
Oh, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that when we get back.
Yeah.
4 months from now.
Yep.
No. When I was on the road this weekend, I had 3 friends that came to the show on Saturday, and the one is a married couple that I actually introduced to each other.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How come you never introduced me to anyone that I'm gonna get married to?
Because you don't trust me, dude. And
I
you're
would
too
trust
busy.
you.
No, you don't. I could do it. Yo, I'm telling you. 2 things about me that are nasty. One, the gaydar. Like when I met my girlfriend's moms, I was like, I think they're gay.
Well.
I'm pretty sure they're gay, Jack. I don't know if you know that. And number 2, I know how to
What was it?
matchmake.
What was it that gave it away?
They kissed.
What? That is pretty gay.
It was pretty gay.
That's
and
pretty
the
gay.
haircuts.
Yeah.
And the pickleball.
Wow, yeah.
And the fact they've been together for 40 years.
Yeah, and the fact that they're married and they're women. Yeah.
But number 2, I am a pretty solid matchmaker.
Wait, really?
Yeah. So she was one of my best friends. One of the only reasons I graduated college. Like really, her and her best friend, we were like super close.
You've mentioned them on the pod before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then her husband, who I also knew in another group, I introduced them, and then they got married. But they were like, yeah, we wake up Wednesday mornings. And
That's so sweet.
We
I
love
love
listening
that.
to your podcast.
They say we like Grace so much more than you.
They were like, we didn't even know there was a girl on there until today.
Yeah.
Now.
Well,
yeah, they say that they love it. And I'm like, every time somebody so far has said they like the podcast, I'm like, please just give it time because it will get better. Like,
yeah, well, honestly, I thought that about like the first episode I liked. The second one I'm scared of because it's like more sexual.
I think the first and 2 are good.
I think
2
4
is not sexual.
4 we got really good feedback.
Which one's
on.
4?
4 is who's a bigger douche.
That was my least favorite.
So many people reached out to me and said this is my favorite episode,
which is strange
to
me. But I will say, I think my favorite feedback so far has all been from Grace's brother. So,
brother, Pat.
Shout out Pat Lobo,
Patrick Lobo
in the building, dude, because he's my boy now.
Patrick listens to every episode, and
he rides with me every single time.
Yeah, he does. Do you want me to read you what he DMs me?
Yeah.
Patrick really likes the hi Pat. He's active now on Instagram. When this comes out 4 months from now, Pat. My brother Greg also listens and sends me, but Pat's are pretty. He really appreciates the Jamie references. He would like us to have
the male culture shit.
Yeah, he wants us to have Mel Gibson on as a guest because
Mel
Joe
Gibson?
Rogan has. Yeah.
Like canceled Mel Gibson?
Yeah, I think he thinks it would be funny.
It would be funny.
He also thinks we should get Big Justice and the Rizzler. Brainstorming guest ideas.
I don't know who either of those dudes are.
You don't know who Big Justice? They're those like kids who I don't really.
Kids?
It's
I don't want to have kids in my apartment.
He's Gen Z.
Well, Patrick is?
He reached out again and said we didn't have Mel Gibson on.
Wow, two requests for Mel Gibson?
He also
well
asked
does he think the podcast is doing?
Cardinal Timothy Dolan. Or Timothy Cardinal Dolan.
What?
He's really...
Yo, Patrick.
He didn't like the McKinley erasure in one of our episodes.
The what?
President McKinley. He was assassinated. We talked about this. And then he said
he has to be on the payroll for how much
he
information
said you were
he's
right
been
about the Dark Knight trilogy, widely regarded as me and Greg.
Of course, me.
Highest quality superhero cinema directed by Christopher
Ever.
Nolan.
Yep.
And he called me a Philistine.
What does that mean?
It's like someone who's like uncultured. It's like a
Patrick, you popped off on that one.
Yeah.
Philistine for sure.
Yeah.
Philistine kind of sounds like something else though. That's been going through the news, so like I kind of don't want to.
Sometimes you say this sounds like a slur or something.
Not a slur, but just like, Gaza, Philistine.
Oh, it sounds like okay, yeah.
Kind of,
Sometimes Greg does a sounds like, and I'm kind of like, it's not that much.
I think it's because like my frequency in my brain.
Like you, right. Like there was a word I said on like a recent episode, and you were like, "Whoa, careful! Don't say that one too fast. Like otherwise, it's gonna sound like you're saying." And I was like, "What word are you implying?"
Wait, yeah, when was
like,
that?
Sometimes I say words, and
yeah, you're right.
I want to do an episode that's about words that Greg doesn't know, but then
that's kind of overplayed though. I
agree. Yeah,
I think it's
right.
overplayed. Like my stupidity is it's nothing new.
How do you say the word?
And she's gonna do it anyway.
VASE.
She just heard what I said.
No,
said,
I know
nope.
you know this word. I'm just curious how you pronounce it. VASE.
Vase.
Okay, yeah, I say vase because I'm a fucking bitch.
Yeah, because that's pretentiousness right there. That's because you speak like you have a family of 3.
Do you know what word I pronounce wrong? Do you know the word? Do you know the
I'm
word?
not gonna
you
ask.
know this word. The word have I for some reason pronounce it as Hev. Like I have never been there, or like have you ever heard of? I don't know why I say it that way. Hev.
We need to pivot from this excruciating
Sorry,
segment.
it's just such a stupid
You want to
thing.
talk about the weather? That would be good.
I do love to talk about the weather in our podcast. But yeah, it's been good to have it out, I think.
I like it. I'm interested to see what clip really is one that kind of does well.
Yeah, me too.
It's not that they're not doing well. Like it's been consistently fine. The one that so far has been the best one has been the clip about
my brother.
Your brother.
Yeah.
Which is obviously the funniest clip.
Yeah.
Like that's the proudest moment I've had so far.
Really?
Yeah, dude. That's the funniest shit ever.
I was like, we're gonna get canceled for this.
It's
Every
like
day I'm like, that's the other thing about having it be out. Like I have a job that's like 9 to 5 in corporate, and I'm sometimes the stuff I'm like, okay, post. Like,
But
let's see.
the way I see it is like if that cancels you from your job, it means the podcast is doing well, which means you don't need the job.
I still need health insurance unless
Bro,
you guys want
I got health insurance. Granted,
You got health insurance?
I got health insurance. It's only $291 a month.
That's so much.
That's fair.
Mine's 50.
$50 a month?
Yeah.
What does it provide?
Like everything.
Oh, but it's like through your job.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now mine's just through.
Straight up.
I'm just the roots of my feet.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
We should keep talking about health insurance.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
Guys, do you like the shirt manager at my job? Sister?
I got this shirt at a rummage sale, which Greg and Will don't think is a real thing.
Rummage is not a word.
They said it's a flea market. They said it's a garage sale.
We'll have a poll out there
it's
if
different.
rummage sale. Maybe in 1805 when
Yeah.
people were dying from the bubonic plague.
Yeah, all the people in PA that you saw.
Yo, but for real though.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, I've never sat with a group of people dumber than them. And I'm trying to make a joke.
That's how I feel when
I'm trying to make I'm trying to make a joke, but it's so hard right now to like not punch down. Like for example, like here is like something that I'm trying to think about and consume. We went out Friday night, before Friday actually during the Saturday day.
Okay.
Cut that, Jaime. Cut that.
Yeah. What's happening?
Before we went out Saturday at 4 p.m. and we went to this college bar, and obviously the bar wasn't
Nice.
like big. Yeah. Come on now. Come on, Shane. And we asked this bartender, yo, what are the girls like that come by here?
Greg.
I wasn't the one that asked.
Yeah.
It was my roommate.
Okay.
My roommate asked like, yo, what are the girls like that come around here? And this guy from York County, Pennsylvania
Sure.
said, well, it's like any other college bar, really.
From Pennsylvania. This is Pennsylvania.
But it's
accent.
Western PA, dude.
Okay,
Like
okay.
it's not. I'm not talking some Philly guy. This is a
Okay.
Western PA guy, and he's like, "Well,"
And Alabama.
now I gotta do the whole thing over. You got your smoke shows, and then you got your girls that shouldn't be allowed outside in public wearing the shit that they're wearing. And I'm like, TJ,
Holy shit.
you have 3 teeth in your mouth,
Yeah.
and the rest were wooden.
But that's
The rest were wooden. But then
George
I was
Washington.
thinking, that's
George
what I'm.
Washington.
Yeah, I'm in the bit. I'm trying to be like, yo, I'm pretty sure I saw you in that painting crossing the Delaware.
hell yeah.
Like you are a founding father, dude.
Yeah.
But like then I kind of thought about it and I'm like, only an ugly guy would still say that. Because if that was like a self-aware woman who is objectively unattractive, and I'd be like, yo, what's the guys like around here? She would be like, oh, well, like, you know, like you have
They're
like some
nice.
really hot ones
Yeah.
and the rest are just like the best personalities you've ever
Yeah,
met.
yeah.
That's how a girl would. But no, TJ from York County, Pennsylvania thinks if Sydney Sweeney walked into this bar, he'd be like, yeah, it looks like I'm going home with Sydney
Yeah,
Sweeney
yeah.
tonight. Like, dude, you
And
are
hey,
the ugliest dude
I'm
I've ever
rooting
seen.
for them.
I'm not. Bro, they need to get their shit shot down. Have some self-awareness, bro. Like, don't talk about.
That's why girls should have a gun.
He's like this. Yeah, for real. He's like this 35-year-old man working at a college bar talking shit about other like girls in college. Like,
Okay, are you bringing him up because you're gonna match make me with him? What's happening?
yo, Grace.
I want to
I
get match
swear to
made by
God.
Greg so bad.
No, I
now.
will. That we can do that. We'll go out. I mean, we're hosting a show this week, right?
Oh yeah, Greg and I are co-hosting a show this week.
That's what we are now. And then in the description of the comedy thing, the promo, it said our favorite podcasters.
I don't want to be a podcaster.
I could not help but laugh at the fact that I'm no longer a comedian, and I've been doing that way longer than these
Yeah.
5 episodes of a podcast.
They were
we've been
like,
doing.
I was gonna host that by myself, and then they were like, "Do you want to host it with Greg?" And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, because I reached out and I was like, since I booked your headliner,
Yeah.
thoughts on me also trying to get a spot on it.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we can host it with Grace. And I was like, well, I feel like Grace would hate that, but that makes me want to do it even more.
No, they asked me, and I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, it's going to be weird. I like it. Of course. And it's like always like, I know how many times I've hosted a show with you or Jamie.
You've never hosted a show with me.
But I'm saying like a girl.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I'm that guy. I'm becoming a girl's comic.
Yeah, Greg is a girl's comic. Who do we have to apologize to?
I'll apologize to Jaime. Do you think I need to? Side note, sidebar. Do you think I need to apologize to him, or do you think he doesn't care?
I don't think he cares.
I don't think he does either. But like,
but I like when we talk.
We
to him.
do need him to come back.
You can apologize to him.
Hey, from the bottom. Hey, look at me. Oh, look at me. Can't do the.
Wait, you guys kiss.
From the bottom of my heart, Jaime, I apologize.
Yeah,
what do you want me to apologize
for? Why is it offensive?
for?
Why is it offensive?
Why is it? I think it was like a brilliant type of. I'm not gonna call it brilliant.
It's good when you say your own stuff is brilliant. I know.
That's why I shut down. Jaime, do you think I need to apologize for anything? I'm sorry that you had a man bun and I assumed you did Muay Thai since you got it. I'm sorry that I racially ambiguously called you Jaime.
There we go. That's it. There
you also can be a Jamie.
Add a girl.
You can even be a James.
Whoa.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's my name? People think.
Yeah. Shut up, Grace.
People think my name is Claire like every day of my life.
Oh, I could see a Claire.
Everyone.
I think the glasses give Claire.
Thank you.
But Claire's not really so much of a redhead name.
I agree.
You know what I can say?
Say it.
I can name you Carrie.
Carrie?
Mm-hmm. Like Caroline.
Okay.
Because that's my sister's name and she's redhead.
There we go.
Who also, she likes the podcast.
Does she?
Yeah. She wants to be on it really badly.
I would love to have her on.
Yeah, she really, really wants to be on it. I've actually had a lot of people reach out about how they want to be on the podcast. And I'm like, then buy me another mic.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
like that's what we're working towards right now.
We will get you on the podcast.
You give me a couple of more episodes, we'll get a goddamn mic. We can get you on here and don't ruin it.
Get C4 to actually sponsor
Get
us.
C4 to sponsor
If you guys know anyone who works at C4, any other sort of energy drink, we're not married to them.
No, it has to be C4. I'm not selling out for some kombucha shit.
I would love if we could get sponsored by it's kombucha.
Whoa. Whoa.
As I said that, I was like, stop.
Relax. You have some weird things.
But it has an O in it, not an A. It's not kombucha.
Well, it's not cum bucket chucha, whatever you called it.
I need to stop
Grace,
saying
what do you have to apologize for?
I'll
except
apologize
your illiteracy?
I'll apologize to anyone who is doing any sort of mixed martial arts.
Bro, spit it out.
I can't talk. Just because I'm actually probably not that good at it.
Or absolutely
I'm definitely not good at it.
But
I do still think Will is one of the best jiu-jitsu fighters in the world.
Oh my! For his weight class, though. For his weight class, bro. Like you saying how good you are at boxing.
I'm not.
Listen,
I'm not good at it.
No, don't backtrack. It goes back to the first episode when you were like, I took kickboxing lessons. I could kick it. I'm like, really?
No.
How many classes did you take? You were like 2, and I was like post pandemic, and you said pre-pandemic.
Here's the thing. I don't think that the kickboxing matters in the fighting the bobcat because I think it's just about kicking it.
Yeah,
it's not about the bobcat isn't like, oh no, the bobcat's gonna like fake right. Like it's like I'm just gonna kick the bobcat.
The bobcat is so much faster than you, dude. I'm gonna apologize for why this podcast is even a thing.
Fine.
The only reason we have this podcast is because you are absolute.
I think Greg should
confidence.
apologize to me because we found out that he is really good at matchmaking and he's never tried to set me up with anyone.
You've been too busy already being with guys, thinking that they're going to be the last one you ever talk to.
All right, that's not true.
Oh, Jaime, we might need to cut that.
No, it's fine.
I guess it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah,
it's fun to get back in the lab with you.
Yeah, no.
Feels
Next
good.
time we'll have a topic.
We don't need topics, dude. We're famous.
We're famous now. We don't need a topic.
We're fucking famous.
Yeah.
I'll get a topic when I go to Joe Rogan.
I agree.
You know, we'll hit the mothership.
Yeah. If you guys have any ideas for things we can talk about on the pod that you think we would get in a fight about, feel free to DM
but
us.
don't, if it's bad, keep it to yourself.
Yeah. You can also email us at htdopodcast@gmail.com.
Are you going to check that email?
I'm right.
No, I'm not saying the address.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, email Grace. You might as well email Grace at her regular
I'm not
email
saying
address.
that on the podcast.
No. 9 to 5 corporate gig. We can't be doing that.
No,
we can't be mixing business with pleasure.
No.
All right, well, that was the episode. That was fun.
Yeah. Follow our podcast if you like this. It's Hill to Die on Pod on Instagram. It's something on TikTok as well if you want to follow it, but that has a lot of periods in it. I can't remember it. Oh, it's just Hill to Die on?
Yeah.
Okay. You can follow me at gklobo on Instagram.
Follow me at gregmelly. Follow Jamie/Jaclyn at jacksowack.
She's really funny and
She's
cool.
very funny. She's great at editing.
She's just sick.
She's not even here, and we're like trying to get her other jobs.
I love her.
Yeah, I do too. And then, of course, follow Will Bryant at
I'm
Will Bryant.
BRYANT.
That's been the pod, guys.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Peace.